Hi guys, this is Zen Honeycutt of Moms Across America. I'm outside the FDA and we just met with the FDA, with the head of Human Foods Department, the Deputy Commissioner, Jim Jones. So we got a meeting with the policymakers, Ann Conrad, who is the head of another division. I don't have his title here right now, and two other women that are play important role in the FDA, and we presented all of the facts about our findings on school lunches, fast food, loaded cereal. We gave them initial preliminary studies on baby food and Girl Scout cookies and gluten-free food, which we are still processing those results, but they are very toxic and it's very upsetting. So we gave them preliminary results and we talked about the fact that they are the policymakers and decision makers to make sure that people have access to safe, non-toxic, nutrient-dense food. And they kept talking about how, they are doing this, they are doing that. We're very glad. I mean, we do not envy them their jobs. This is a very difficult job that they have, okay? And they kept mentioning how they have to stay in their lanes. And, the EPA has their regulations, like they set the regulatory limits. For example, 30,000 parts per billion of glyphosate that's allowed on wheat, right, which is ridiculously high. So the EPA sets the limits and the FDA regulates, and they do the testing to make sure that the food doesn't exceed those limits. And I brought up the fact that they could be doing a better job of that. For instance, out of the top 25 most widely used herbicides, I saw the list back when I was on the Organic Products Advisory Board for the Secretary of Agriculture in California as a consumer representative. I looked at the list of what the FDA was testing for, what the California FDA was testing for, and what the top 25 most widely used herbicides that are used in America, what they are. And the FDA was only testing for 2 of them. And the California FDA was only testing for 3 of them. And they were coming out with reports saying, well, 98% of the samples, the 1,200 samples, for instance, that we tested for, did not exceed the EPA's regulatory limits for residues, right? For pesticide residues. Yeah, but if you can't say 98% of the samples did not exceed the regulatory limits if you're only testing for 2 out of the top 25 pesticides. You guys get what I'm talking about here? That is misleading. So we brought that up again to them. Like, for instance, they haven't been testing for paraquat. Paraquat has been directly connected to Parkinson's. It's been sprayed on our food for like 40 years. They are not doing their jobs. They need to do a better job. And so we brought this to their attention. Jim Jones seemed very attentive. Conrad also seemed very attentive. They said that, they want our data. They're going to be working on it. They're going to be, doing other things. But when they kept talking about having to stay in their lanes, my call to action was like, hey, how about we get the EPA and the FDA and the USDA together and everybody works together? That's what we do as moms. We bring together the people at church and the sports groups and the birthday parties, right? We bring community together. So we are going to be calling for a meeting where the EPA, the FDA, the USDA all work together to create a safer food supply and to stop shirking their responsibilities and pointing in the other direction that the other people are responsible. We need to do something about this now. There's no time to waste. We have major mental health, physical health, and reproductive health issues because of the toxins in the food supply. So please stay tuned. We will tell you what the result of this is. We are going to be following up with them with the data. We are going to be following up with more requests with them. And thank you for your support. If it's $1, $5, $5,000, we so appreciate it. We need to be coming back here and holding them to account because God knows the chemical companies are spending millions and millions of dollars to have lobbyists telling them, oh, we need these chemicals as a tool. We need, to use GMOs, and folks, this is not true. Farmers have been farming for thousands of years, thousands of generations without toxic chemicals. They can continue to do it, and they must do it in order to protect the future of the human race. So please stay tuned. Thank you so much, everybody.